everyone, welcome back to StuyEats, and I'm here with another recipe video. So today I'm making pineapple upside down cake, and I'm also doing this with Alec and Nick, and they're using different fruits. So I have never made this before, and I'm really excited. And I'm going to use the recipe from Sally's Baking Addiction. So this time I have all of my ingredients. I checked last night, I got some new stuff today. Here's a video of me shopping.
Hello, it is Friday, June 26th, 1:30 p.m. and I'm going to store for sour cream for my pineapple upside down cake. It is the first time I'm ever making this, so I'm very excited. And this time I actually checked the fridge last night to see that I have everything else, and I do have everything else. So I'm just getting some sour cream and some other groceries, and I'm really excited. I will actually try to show you me getting the sour cream, and I will try not to drop it. So I'm currently waiting at the light to cross the street. There's a cool blue car next to me. Yeah, that's basically it. I'll check back in later.
So I basically just picked up some Horizon organic sour cream, and I actually didn't drop anything this time, so go me.
We'll just get started. So pineapple upside down cake, I've looked through the recipe. It has the topping, which like you're going to bake it at the bottom. So it's the part with the pineapple and all that stuff. So I'm going to start with the topping, and I have my pan here that I'm going to use. So it's the diameter of it is 9, and it should be at least 2 inches tall. So the first thing you do is pour a 1/4 cup of melted butter into the pan. Okay, so I have my butter. It's very liquidy, which is good, it's melted, and I'm just gonna pour it into the pan. Make sure I get all of it out. It smells nice. I feel like I'm at the movie theater. And I'm gonna just evenly distribute it onto the cake pan. So yeah, just make sure it's even, and I'm just gonna throw this like that. So the next step is you're going to sprinkle the brown sugar evenly over the butter. So you need 1/2 cup of either light or dark brown sugar. I'm using light brown sugar because that's what I had at home, but you know, either one works. I personally find that light brown sugar is easier to work with. It doesn't harden up as much, so I prefer using it. So I'm just gonna sprinkle it over. I'm gonna use my hands actually, so it's a little bit more even. But yeah, I find that light brown sugar is softer, so you can just sprinkle it better and get a nice even layer. Okay, so now I've sprinkled the brown sugar, and it's not, sorry, the butter's flowing a little, but it's not exactly even. It's pretty even, but it's not like perfect, and that's fine because that's exactly what is shown in the picture. So I'll show you right now. The brown sugar is combining with the butter and getting darker, and some of it is still pretty light. Okay, so our next step is the fruit, and I have pineapple here. So just canned pineapple. It's a 20-ounce can, and it's pineapple slices. So she specifically recommends pineapple slices. There are so many notes, so I will have the website to the recipe linked down below. And yeah, basically I'm just gonna open it and put about 6 to 7 slices on, and then in the middle of each you're gonna add some maraschino cherries, and I love maraschino cherries, but I'm really excited to see how it'll turn out because normally they're like just put on something and I've never seen them cooked. So I'm gonna open the can, I'm gonna lay stuff out, and we'll see how it works. Oh, make sure that you blot the fruit and like dry it off, because according to the website, the wetter the fruit, the more likely the cake could overflow or the topping could seep over the sides when inverted, because you are flipping this upside down. so the recipe says she usually takes 3 of the pineapples and halves them and puts them along the edges, so I'm gonna do that now. Okay, so I've arranged all the pineapple, and so I used 7 along the bottom, and then I used 3 along the side, so I halved each of them, and it was literally perfect. So I used a total of 10 slices, and the can had 10 slices, and just like, look how nice it looks. I just kept getting so excited because I was like, this is amazing. Okay, so now it's time for the maraschino cherries. I'm really excited. Let's see if I can open this myself. Oh. So yeah, I'm super excited because I feel like it will really complete the look. Okay. Okay, so I have arranged all the cherries. It looks so good. Okay, sorry, a cherry just fell. But yeah, it looks amazing. I feel like I'm gonna do this every time I show something. I love it, it looks so good. Yeah, and I ended up using 19 cherries. So 1 for each ring, and then 6 in the middle, 6 outside. Okay, so this is the topping, and now that is all done. So now I'm pretty sure I have to put it in the fridge. Yeah, so you're gonna place the pan in the refrigerator for a few minutes as you prepare the cake batter. So that's the next part, that's the top layer. So yeah, I'm gonna go put this in the fridge, and then I'll get back to you and make the batter. So right now, before I start the cake batter, I'm actually gonna measure all the ingredients and have them ready, because I looked over the recipe and everything is like very, like, you need to add stuff in constantly. And normally when I bake, I'm like doing something and then I measure something out and then I put it in right away. But I want to be able to do things quickly, so I'm going to measure everything out and have it ready to go and just keep adding it in constantly. So yeah. Okay, so I have measured everything out, and I've also preheated the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit because I forgot to do that a little earlier. So I don't have a video of me showing you how I measure everything out, so I'm just going to go through it. So first I have my dry ingredients, so I'll go through them. I have 1.5 cups of cake flour. So I don't have cake flour, so this website has a link to making cake flour from all-purpose flour. So you also need cornstarch. So basically it needs 1.5 cups, so I doubled the recipe. And basically what you have to do to make cake flour is you take 1 cup of all-purpose flour, remove 2 tablespoons, and then put in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and then double sift it. So I just doubled this recipe and then took away 1/2 cup. And then I added a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So these are all of my dry ingredients, and I'm just going to combine them like so. So basically I put them all in one bowl because it was just easier, because when I said that I needed ingredients like constantly putting in, this is mostly for the wet ingredients, and like you're adding stuff in while you're using your mixer, because I'm going to be using this handheld mixer. So yeah, you just combine these and set it aside. So I'm going to do that right now, and I'm going to get started on my wet ingredients, but I'm going to list them off first. So you have 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter at room temperature, so just soften. So I didn't really do anything, I just put it at room temperature. You have 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. You have 2 large egg whites. you have a 1/3 cup of sour cream and a 1/3 cup of whole milk, and also a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which I forgot to measure, and we'll do that right now. Okay, so I have my handheld mixer ready to go. I do not have a stand mixer, although it would be nice. I just don't really have space at home. Okay, so first thing you're gonna do is beat the butter on high speed until smooth and creamy for about 1 minute. So here's my butter. Okay, so next I'm going to add the sugar, and then again beat on high until creamed together about 1 minute. Just make sure all of this is here. Okay, so it's not, oh, it actually is creamier than it looks. It looks kind of broken apart. So I think, like, don't be frustrated by that, because it looks kind of like as if it's like little pieces broken apart, like crumbly, but it actually is kind of creamed together once you feel the texture. Okay, so next, beat in the egg whites until combined, then beat in the sour cream and vanilla extract. Okay, I would say it's combined, so then we keep that going. Oh wait, no, I can't. Sour cream. And big piece of advice is what I'm doing now is I have a spoon nearby always, so for ingredients or to get stuff out of the whisks of the mixer. I don't know, what the blades, whatever the things are called that actually do the mixing of the mixer. Yeah, so like stuff gets stuck in there, so I use a spoon to get that all out. And yeah, so I have my sour cream. Woo. And I have my vanilla extract. Oh, I love vanilla extract. It smells like vanilla ice cream, which makes sense, and I love it. So you're gonna beat that in. So you're just combining, you're just beating them in. And then if you need to, you're gonna scrape down the sides of the bowl. Okay, so right now it kind of looks like porridge, and it's also sort of the color that's in the picture when it gets to the end. Great. Okay, so now you're gonna pour the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. And turn the mixer onto low speed, and as the mixer runs, slowly pour in the milk. So this is why I measure the milk beforehand, and beat on low speed just until all of the ingredients are combined. Do not overmix. You may need to whisk it all by hand to make sure there are no lumps. The batter at the bottom of the bowl, and the batter will be slightly thick. So I'm going to have my milk near me, and I'm going to start to mix it on low. Slowly add in the milk. Nice. And I see that it's starting to become a little thicker, but you can see that the ingredients are not yet combined. So I'm just going to keep until it's like basically just combined, and then I will get rid of any lumps. So you have to make sure not to overbeat it. Okay, so looks just combined. It actually didn't even take that long. I thought it would take way longer. So I'm gonna move these bowls so I don't hit anything. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this. It's not like you can see the bowls, but whatever. So now I'm just gonna whisk it to make sure there are no lumps at the bottom of the bowl. And there basically aren't any, but I'm just gonna whisk it a little bit more just in case. And I'd honestly just rather take a little extra time to whisk it and make sure it doesn't get over beaten. But it is slightly thick and it's great. And I'm like looking at the picture of the batter now. The consistency looks great. I'm loving it. Hers looks a little more pink than mine, but I feel like it's just because of the lighting, because it shouldn't be pink. Because it just, she said we're making like a white cake basically. So yeah, this looks great. I'm super happy. And this is where my spoon comes in, because guys, I lost my spoon. Anyways, yeah, so the batter is done, so I'm gonna show it to you right now. So this is what the batter looks like. It's pretty creamy, it's light, but it actually is a little thick when you stir it, so it's perfect. And I'm going to continue now. Okay, so now that the batter is done, it is time to add it on top of the topping. That sounds weird, right? But it's an upside down cake, so everything's weird. Yeah, so I just took this out of the fridge and I'm going to use a spatula to put this on, and then I will put it to bake. So I'm really, really excited. Oh, I have so many measuring spoons here. I don't have a rubber spatula, so I'll use a wooden one. So now I'm just gonna even it out a little. Okay, so it is done. It looks like this from here. I will give you a closer look, but basically some of the pineapple on the side is still visible, but that's okay. I'm like also using references from the website. So yeah, so take a look. So here is the batter. So I evened it out and it's like a nice batter, and you can see the pineapple, and I'm going to put it to bake. So I'm putting it in the oven, and now you're going to bake for 43 to 48 minutes. And then halfway through, you're going to put foil over the cake so that, and I quote, it prevents the top from over browning before the center has a chance to fully cook. So before it's completely done, you're gonna put aluminum foil on top of it, loosely, just kind of tent it over, and I will be back to update you guys on that. So when I put the cake into the oven, I started hearing a lot of like dripping and kind of burning, and then I realized that there was butter spilling out of the bottom of the pan, and I was really worried because it's a springform pan, so like what if it's not tight enough? And I was like really, really nervous. So I put a square pan underneath, but I don't even know how that happened because I specifically checked that it was like well tightened before I even started, and I asked my mom too. So like I was trying to make sure that nothing would happen. So now I really don't know, and I guess we'll find out when it's done. The halfway mark is coming up, so I'm going to put the foil, see what the progress is like. My sister came in and said that she thought it smelled kind of burning. And that's because the butter was like on the oven floor, if that's a thing. So I guess we'll find out. Okay, so I'm almost at the halfway mark, so I'm getting a piece of foil ready. I don't need to do that. Oh well. So yeah, and it should be tented, so basically that means what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold it slightly. Oh my god, it's so loud, but I'm gonna say it now. I'm gonna fold it slightly on each part so that it kind of gets a dome shape or like a tent shape, as the name implies. So yeah, so it should kind of be like standing up like this. Like that. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah, like that. And you're gonna put it on top of the pan loosely. You don't have to like seal it. Okay, oh, it's my time. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm really worried. There's like a lot of butter leaking, but I do see that the cake is getting baked. So I'm a little worried. Thank God for pictures on the website. So if anything, I'll bake it longer. But I hope the cake like comes out. I think that's mainly the reason for the butter. So we'll see. I took the cake out of the oven when the timer was done, but it like wasn't finished. Like it clearly was not cooked through. Like based on the top, it was a lot paler than in the picture. So I haven't quite checked like with a toothpick yet, but I don't feel like it's ready. I will check. Oh, I put it in for 5 more minutes, and there's the timer. So let's see what happens now. So when I initially took it out, it wasn't cooked through, so I put it in for another 5 minutes, and I suspected that it was the foil because it kind of hinders it from baking a little, but I did keep the foil on for a little bit. But actually, after those 5 minutes, it looked better. I think taking it out of the oven gave a little bit more perspective, and it looked closer to the picture that's on the website, which made me really happy. But when I put a toothpick in, on the outside, it was cooked, and on most of the inside it was cooked, but in the very, very middle, when you go to the bottom, there's still like not quite, and you can feel the batter. So I put it in for another 3.5 minutes. So now I'll check, and she says that a few crumbs are okay because it needs to cool and kind of bake through fully. So I think that after these 3.5 minutes, it will be enough. And this time I took off the foil so it'll cook a little faster. Okay, so here's what the cake looks like. You can see sort of the pineapple slices on the edge, and it has this golden brown. So it's obviously a little bit more brown around the edges and a little bit more white golden in the middle. So there's some cracks, which is good. I'm not good, it's okay. It's not great, but it's like fine. And basically when I put a toothpick in it, it was mostly clean. A few little parts had like moist crumbs, like on the website. So yeah, so I'm just gonna let it cool for 20 minutes. I have my wire rack here, and then after that's done, I'm going to invert it and then let that cool completely at room temperature. So yeah, I will show you guys when it is flipped over, and then I will let you know what it's like when I try it. Okay, so I'm grabbing my gloves because the pan is still a little bit hot. Oops, I'm scared. Okay, so we're going to Oh my god, it looks so good. Sorry, I'm super excited. There's still like some cake on the side of the pan, but I honestly don't care because it looks good. Hold on. I was so nervous about this. Yeah, let's try some of this. Hold on. I think this is cake. It's like pretty sweet, and like I'm not the biggest fan of pineapple because it's too sweet for me, even though I love sweet stuff. But it looks amazing. I'm so happy. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching this trial attempting. Make sure to go watch my brownie video because that was super fun to make. Yeah, it was posted today, like the day I'm filming this video, so it's already up, so go watch it. And you should go watch the interview I did with StuyEats. So yeah, bye!